Hey y'all, what is going on? This is Jesse Both from the 19th hole. I've got the rookie playthrough here for the current winter major tournament. We're going to be playing holes 1 through 9 here. I'm going to show you a couple different routes on some of the holes, but for the most part I'm just going to show you the way that I played this hole, this course, and in my opinion some of the best ways to play it to get yourself in position for the best drops. So we'll start off here with hole number 1. And we'll be playing this one at plus 10% off the drive with an extra mile. We're going to play it to the left-hand side. We played it to the right-hand side on my demo video of the tour. But with this right-to-left tailwind, it just plays much more sense to play it to the left-hand side. And I think in the end, our position to make the shot for our second shot is a much better landing position. So I'm going to play with my orange ring there along the edge of the rough line. Don't want to play too far left because then you don't want to worry about that light pole. Go with full top and left spin, which would be about 4.5 top and 4.5 left. And we have half of our orange ring in the rough line. As you can see, we make our adjustment at plus 10% max. Then we push back up. I'm going to add a little bit of curl here. It's about a quarter of a ball curl on the shot, just to kind of get this ball going more towards the middle of the fairway. And if you don't do that, then the ball will be kind of along that right-hand edge. So kind of do that in order to kind of great proof the shot. So for the second shot here, we're playing with our backbone. I would suggest somewhere between 2 to 3 bars of backspin, and I'm going to play a minus 20%. This is quite an uphill shot. As you can see, our shot is going to be about 75% club in the end, which is in between mid and max. Sometimes, depending on your drive, you may be more at max or you may be more at mid. So definitely check out your club length before you do adjust for your shot. We had some backspin here. We want to have a little bit of a gap between the end of the ball guide and the hole, just to give that ball a little bit of chance to roll to the hole. Otherwise, it may come in a little bit hot. So minus 20% here, we make our adjustment, and then it really just comes down to hitting perfect. A lot of these shots on this tournament are going to be min or max range, short iron, long iron shots, and it's going to definitely require that perfect ball to get the drop. We hit this one dead center of the pin, and we drop it at minus 20%. So we're going to be playing hole number 2 next, and this one is a par 3. I dropped this on the initial video that I put out here of the course, and I try something a little bit different here on this attempt. I'm going to try to play the shot a little bit farther close up to the max adjustment with more backspin, and it's definitely, I think, a really good way to play this hole. But if you prefer the shot back at mid club with just a couple bars of backspin and 1 bar right spin, then that's definitely another way to play this hole as well. I'm playing a plus 10% here on this shot, and as you're going to see, we're trying to get the shot with the ball guide, kind of right at the hole. You may want to offset this one maybe just a little bit to the left of the hole, just to kind of factor in the extra bounce. We're not playing this one exactly at max. Whatever max is, I just took off 0.1, and that's what I played this shot at. We hit this one perfect. It's going to come in. It comes in nicely with really good speed, but it comes in just to the right of the pin. So maybe a little bit more of an offset to the left-hand edge of the hole. Maybe a little bit better for that shot. Hole number 3 here is our first par 5, and we'll be playing this one with a big topper, and you're definitely going to be using the big dog for your second shot here. So what we want to do is I'm going to be using a Titan ball here. I'm going to have to use curl here because I want to kind of push this ball away from the right-hand side. If you get too close to the right-hand side on this shot, the ball will roll down kind of into the rough. So we want to make sure we get the ball going to the left. We're making a max adjustment here, plus 10% on the drive. And then as you're going to see, I'm going to be curling this shot. So for that reason, I do set up my target in the middle of that fairway. We hit over about a ball and a quarter of curl, and this one's going to come in nicely. If you don't want to have to worry about as much curl, then I would suggest going with a side spin 3-ball. So katana or even a kingmaker would be an option on this hole. And you could always go with a berserker ball as well and use that. Will make the second shot a lot easier. So for the second shot here, we're playing with our big dog. As you can see, with the berserker ball, this shot would be a lot easier. But we have the Titan, so we're going to be playing max top spin and left spin here. And we're going to be having to use quite a bit over power here. I do want to use also a little bit of curl to direct this ball up the middle of the fairway. I don't go completely over power. I would suggest going the amount of over power that you feel most comfortable with, possibly hitting perfect on, as the amount of over power that you use. So as you see, we get up the fairway quite nicely, and we're going to be putting ourselves in position for our third shot at the hole for the eagle. This is not going to be an albatross hole, in my opinion. So we got with our thorn right here. We're going to be playing this one at min club, and it's kind of a tricky third shot right here. As you're going to see, we kind of get this little glitchy ball guide between the second and third backspin. And we end up with 2 backspin on this shot. I think 3, 2.5 would have been okay, but we end up with 2. You just want to make sure you have just enough just after that glitch, and just barely enough to be able to adjust from min distance on the shot. We did play this one at minus 10% for our shot, and as I said, somewhere between 2 to 3 bars of backspin on your thorn would be the best way to play this one. We drop this one in the hole, and as you can see, we get the eagle. All right, we got our next hole here. Hole number 4. This one is a par 3, and we're playing this one at plus 10%. We'll be using our backbone. Going to use a quasar ball here. I'm going to use about 1 backspin and 4.5 right spin. I'm going to show you actually myself playing this hole twice. This was my first attempt, and then I'll show you my second attempt as well. So we want to play this shot here with our blue ring about halfway in the rough and the bunker. And we're going to be using our second bounce with our ball guide kind of, pointed towards the hole. We do want to kind of play off that left to right side wind as well, and play for a little bit of the push on that shot. So this is definitely a tricky hole to play. We play plus 10% here on the shot, and as we're going to see, with a perfect ball, this one's going to come in very close indeed, and I think we can really have a really good chance to drop this one, maybe with a little bit more of a minor tweak. We may move our blue ring a little bit off the edge of that bunker line just a little bit. So for our second attempt here with the backbone again, we're playing the same exact adjustment, 1 back, max right spin with the quasar ball, plus 10% here. We're not playing this one exactly at max, so what I did is I took my max numbers and I just subtracted 0.1, and that's what I played with, and that ends up being about 80% club. So we're looking for the second bounce here, and I'm trying to get it kind of right there around the top edge of that dark green square. If you can look at it right there really closely, that second bounce is right there just above the edge of that dark green square. So like I said, we're playing max adjustment minus 0.1 here this time. And let's see how it comes out here with the little minor tweak that we did make to the adjustment. Nice bounce and a second bounce, and we get the roll, and we drop it. So it's always great to be dropping a par 3, especially one that I have not seen being dropped very much on day number 1. So hopefully y'all can use that and get it to drop for yourself as well. All right, hole number 5 is next, par 4. And we're playing this one to the left-hand side. You're going to be playing 0% for the elevation. We're going to be playing with an extra mile. And I'm going to be bringing a katana ball in hopes of giving myself a little bit more power on my second shot with the backbone to be able to use my backbone. If you want to bring your Goliath, that will give you the extra distance for your second shot for sure, in which case then you can use a quasar ball and be okay with the Goliath. But if you want to use a backbone, then definitely you want that little bit extra power with the katana, or even higher, maybe a Titan. So we make our adjustment here. We push our shot back up to max adjustment, and we just hit this one perfect. This ball's going to come up the left-hand side really nicely. We want to make sure we have enough distance to get past the light pole, because we don't want to deal with that light pole on our second shot. So for our second shot here, we're playing plus 10% with the backbone or the Goliath. We're playing 2 backspin here, and we're really just trying to get this shot, lined up with this hole as best as we can. I don't think that this is going to be an automatic drop type hole, but I think this is one that I think if we shoot it enough, consistently enough, I think we can get it to drop a couple times. So on this, actually, I didn't go with 2 backspin. We went with no topspin, no backspin at all on this hole from this distance farther back. If you're playing with the Goliath farther up near the green, then you probably want to play with a couple bars of backspin. But from this distance with the backbone, I went with no topspin. And you're going to see the ball come in actually at a really nice angle at the hole, but we just lacked just a little bit of topspin here. So maybe with that shot from back there, maybe about a half a ball of topspin would be good. But other than that, we had a really good line to the hole, and that's definitely a shot that can drop, but I would not expect it to drop. All right, so our next hole is hole number 6, par 5. And with this hole right here, you know, there's a couple different ways you can play it. You can try to play a blast shot with an extra mile on a berserker to try to get to that next level fairway. You could play a driver to the second fairway with backspin, or you could take a max distance big dog and play it to that second fairway. So, you know, if you want to try to play, you know, the quarterback shot, you play it right there at min level, or you can just play a max level big dog here. Use your topspin. 6 bars of topspin is the max amount that I would use on this shot, and we're just playing it off the edge here of the fairway. So playing this shot at plus 10% on this shot, and we're just kind of playing it naturally, letting the ball bounce over the cliff and down to that next fairway. We want the roll to be down close to the edge of the fairway. The farther in you go, the easier it makes it for your second shot. So I brought the Titan ball. I think the Titan ball is a really good ball to have for your second shot. But like I said, if you want to make it even easier, you could also bring the berserker and not really have to worry about it as much. So with our big dog here, we're going to play with our yellow ring there along the edge of the rough line, max topspin and left spin on this shot. We do want our second bounce to hit in the rough and then roll out onto the fairway up towards the green. If it hits fairway, then there's a possibility that it could roll through the green into the other side of the green, which is downhill into the rough. We don't want that to happen. We use a good amount of curl right there, and as you see, it comes in really nicely, and it's going to leave us a really easy third shot for our eagle chip right there. So I played my second shot at 0%. Some people are playing with a little bit of an uphill adjustment. I played mine at 0%. But as you can see, it leaves you a really nice little, as in my case, firefly chip. And it's very makeable, nothing to it, and it should be an easy eagle. All right, so we got hole number, I think 7 is next. Hole number 7. And I'm going to show you 2 ways to play this hole, one to the left and then one to the right, playing the rough bump. The first way I'm going to show you is to the left, and what we're really trying to do is just set ourselves up for a backbone shot at the hole. So I'm going to be using my big topper here. You can play this shot with an extra mile as well, and that'll be perfectly fine. But I wanted to use my level 1 big topper and just show you that it was possible to use the big topper. So I would use a Titan ball for this. If you're using an extra mile, then you could probably get away with using a quasar or a katana ball if you so choose. Oh, actually, no, I did switch to a quasar ball. All right, so we used the quasar ball here. I wanted to show you a cheaper route if you didn't want to try to play the rough bump. So we make our adjustment here. We play this one at plus 20% on the drive. And this one bounces here, and it's going to go well over, and I'm going to set myself up for a nice little second shot here. That was even a great left. So with great left, you're still fine with the level 1 big topper. So our second shot here from the left-hand side, we're playing at plus 10% with the backbone. You want to find your min and your max, and as you can see here, we're playing pretty much right at max. We're going to line up our ball guide right at the hole. Play a little bit of a backspin here on the shot. I went with 2 bars of backspin right here, and that may have been maybe a little bit too much backspin. You know, maybe 1.5 backspin, a little bit better of a way to play this hole. But 2 bars is what I hit it with in the playthrough, you know, when I just played Tour 5, so I wanted to try that again as this adjustment. We hit this one perfect. It's going to come in quite nicely, and as you can see, it just comes up a little bit short and then kind of veers off to the right. So take away a little bit of that backspin, and I think we have a really good chance to drop that shot. All right, so for the shot to the right-hand side, we're playing it with the quarterback. Max backspin here. You're gonna be laying this shot right at min quarterback, as you can see. You want that ball guide to be just over the edge of that fringe, that rough line, and you want to use at least 4 bars of backspin on this shot. So we make our adjustment here. We are playing this shot at plus 20% for the drive, and we are using a katana ball. We want the katana ball for our second shot. It gives us a little bit extra distance on our second shot to make it a little bit easier. As you can see, we bounce and we put ourselves in really good position. All right, so for our second shot here, we are playing it with the Viper. If you do have a Sniper, that would definitely be a really good club to use on this hole. But we're playing it with the Viper. We're not going to play any top spin here. If you need to land this shot a little bit farther back in the rough than I do, then you may want to use a little bit of top spin. But from where I'm landing it, 0 spin is what we're going with. And we actually ended up playing this one at 75% is what I played it at. So definitely, check out your min, your max, and then make your adjustments accordingly to your club length. You want to do the best you can with that ball guide and aim it as close to that hole as you can. Of course, with a Sniper, you will have a much better ball guide. Plus 25% is the elevation adjustment for this shot. And of course, hit it perfect and give yourself a chance. This one hits perfectly, exactly where we aimed it, and it rolls in it, so close to dropping it for the eagle here. That would have been definitely an awesome way to end this hole. But definitely very possible, and definitely, if you are someone that likes the rough bump, this is a great way to play this hole. If you don't like the rough bump, then playing it to the left side is also another great way to play this hole and offers you the chance to drop that shot as well. All right, so we got hole number 8 here is next. This one is a par 3. We'll be playing this one with our backbone. We'll be playing plus 10% for the elevation, and we're going to use a quasar ball here. On this shot here, you're going to see me use about 4 left spin and 2 bars of backspin. We're going to have our red ring just barely cutting into the edge of the rough line. And as I said, we're playing plus 10% maximum adjustment. We're trying to get the end of this ball guide kind of pointing just left of the cup, and trying to just get that roll just perfectly figured out. When you're going to see me play this shot, it's going to come in actually to the right of the cup. So to correct that, we could go with our full left spin here, which, we only use 4 bars of left spin here. We can instead use 4.5 bars of left spin. I would still stick with the 2 bars of backspin and try to line that shot up as best as we can to the left edge of the cup. You will see also that I had a slight bit of a right curl on my shot, and that's due to our ball guide not being centered in our shot circle. So definitely some good chances to figure that one out, and hopefully we can get that one dialed in for the ace. All right, hole number 9 here, par 5. We'll be playing this last and final hole with our big topper 1, and we'll be playing a plus 10%. Now on this drive here, you don't want to use a really high caliber ball, because if you do, you're going to put yourself in between clubs. So for that reason, we're going to go with the quasar ball here. You can try to overpower this shot over the rough and up that fairway with an extra mile and a berserker, like you see me showing there. But for this shot, we'll be playing the quasar and the big topper 1. And it's going to show you that you can get good results with low-level clubs as well, and still put yourselves in a good chance for the eagle on this hole. So we're aiming that ball guide to nowhere as close as we can down the center of that fairway. And we're going to make our adjustment here. I played a mid adjustment here on the big topper. It's a very small kind of adjustment area, but I played at mid. And you're going to see it come and bounce real nice. So, mid worked perfectly fine there. It's going to bounce up the fairway, and it's going to put myself in position for a second shot towards the green. So for our second shot, we're playing with the big dog. You could also play this shot with the horizon. I like the big dog because of the extra distance it gives me. I think it just makes this shot a lot easier to the green. This is not a shot that you're going to be putting in the hole. So putting yourself in position for your third shot is really all we're trying to do here. We play half our orange ring in the rough, trying to give ourselves a little bit of a distance, like great proof in case we hit great left or great right. And we make our shot max adjustment here. We're putting about 2/3, 3/4 of a ball curl on that shot, max topspin and right spin. And as you can see, this ball comes in quite nicely here. and set ourselves up for a nice little wedge chip at the hole. As you're going to see in my last and final shot, even the dart gets a little bit of love here today. We're going to be using the dart here as my wedge. The ball guide on the dart is not very impressive, as you all can see, but you know, it's always important to find your max and your min. We're playing this one right about mid on the dart. You know, we're going to leave that ball guide, you know, a little bit short of the hole because we know it's not fully developed, and we're just going to play this shot at mid distance. We played 0% here on this shot. The good thing about the dart, it doesn't take much to adjust it, and if you hit it perfect, it generally goes in as well. So there we go. We got the eagle. Thank you all for being here for this rookie playthrough for the Winter Major Tournament. If you know some other ways to play these holes and you would like to share them with the community, definitely check us out on Facebook on Golf Clash, the 19th hole, or you can share your setups in the comments of this video. Definitely happy to have your input. All right, y'all, take care. Have a great day, and God bless.